We are at Lookuptv across all their social media platforms. I am at Kiage Simba. Now, let's move away from the political economy in this country and talk about issues that are pertinent to you this morning. Weight and weight management. Now, there are various ways in which you can manage weight, and we do know very well. Right now, if you go to the internet, there are those solutions all around you. But then, there are those that have been proven. Maybe your weight management is to gain weight like the rest of us, or reduce that weight, or retain it. I mean, when we're talking about weight, we're talking about weight from those three respective areas. So this morning, we do have a very interesting doctor in the house. Her name is Dr. Rose John, who's also a nutritionist, who's going to talk to us about weight and weight management. Dr. Rose John, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Welcome to Lookuptv. Just before we went on air, I told you this one of the things that I've been struggling to manage myself is weight, and manage it from this perspective. Gain weight, it has been a battle that I give up. Let's begin from there. Weight management. When we're talking about weight management, what are we referring to for any other person who wants to get into this subject?
Okay, when we talk about weight, it's a challenging topic.
Yeah.
As you have said, others they want to gain, others want to have an ideal weight.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And there are some people, they are just comfortable with a lot of weight, though they don't know the effects. So that's why we are going to talk why you should have an ideal weight, why you should manage your weight.
Yes.
So sometimes when you have the issues with underweight, the problem most of the time is in the liver. Yes. So when you have a fogged liver or a clogged liver, that is where exactly the problem is. And most of the time you find that you take long hours, you don't get hungry. Why? Because your liver is pacted, and your liver affects your hormones. So you can eat a lot of food, but you're not gaining weight. You can eat even junk foods, but you're not gaining. Because the more you eat junk to gain weight, the more you clog your liver. So the liver has to be opened up. Even when you see people with big tummy here, especially the upper tummy, you find someone with a very big tummy. Yep. The issue is in the liver. Because remember, in the liver, that's where we have a lot of functions in our body. It is the largest organ from skin. So everything that you do in your life, especially what you eat, drink, it is processed in the liver. So if this chemistry of the liver is not coordinating properly, because probably the kind of lifestyle you have been living, it will affect your system. So people, they may just think about it's how you eat food, how it's digested, how it's assimilated to the system, and how the waste comes out. That's anatomy. So we find that the type of food you eat, how friendly is it to your liver? If it's not friendly to the liver will work opposite what you expect it to do.
Yes.
Yes.
So I see people celebrate. I was like, I mean, there's a cooler. At times we chip on the cooler in a week. And guys, you'll never see a weight increase in my body. Some people touch that for 3 or 4 days and you will see a change in the body system. So what happens to the point where somebody would eat and they grow fat, and other people would eat and they won't essentially account for that in their body weight?
Around 5% of the issue is in the DNA. Around 5%.
Just 5% of it?
Yeah, 5% of it. Even diseases. 5% is in the DNA. But 95%, it is out of what we eat every day. So some people, they cannot gain weight because it is in the DNA. And when you gain weight because it is the DNA, it's also triggered by diet. You can be the family members can be overweight, but you'll never gain weight yourself. Why? Because it is triggered by the diet that you eat every day.
Chances are that if you are born by overweight parents, then your DNA is essentially that you will be overweight, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the chances.
That's your DNA.
Yeah.
Chances are like that. 5%.
5%.
But if you essentially then restrict yourself to...
If you change lifestyle, even if it's in the DNA, but you are eating the right diet, you won't gain weight. So what triggers when it is the DNA is diet, because diet is information you are giving to your system. So if you give it the wrong information, it will show up the symptoms. It will give you a negative information.
Yep.
If you give it positive information, that is food, the food you eat, it will give you the positive information.
That's it.
I talk about body mechanism, how the body reacts, how the body digests food. And we talk about, most of the time when you eat food, there is one factor we call insulin. The body gives up insulin. When the body gives more insulin in your system, it will cause you to increase a lot of weight. Because when you have a lot of insulin, you increase weight. When you have ideal insulin in your body, the way it's supposed to be, you don't increase weight. Why? Because insulin, when you give too much of insulin, it means the diet that you are eating, it is calling for more insulin. The body cannot give insulin where there is no food in the system. So you have to eat fast so that the body can give insulin. What is the work of insulin? The work of insulin is to balance sugar in your system. To take sugar from the blood to the cells, so that it can give you energy to fuel, so that we can talk the way we are talking, because we are using sugar from the food that you have taken. It's like petrol. Now you are putting petrol in the engine so that it can be able to run. The same thing with insulin. The sugar we eat, the insulin take the sugar into the blood. So when there is enough insulin into the cells, the body looks somewhere else to deposit in case of emergency. You don't have sugar in the cells. So what it does, it puts sugar in the liver as glycogen. So when you don't have sugar in the blood, now in the cells, now it will go back to the liver. If it fills the liver, the glycogen, if it fills the liver, it goes now to the tissues. It will still deposit into the tissue. So this happens when you eat from January 1 to December 31st. What is the work of the body? You eat, it deposits. You eat, it deposits. And people outside there, we eat more than 5 meals in a day, or even 6 meals in a day, even 10. There are some people who do 10. Wanakula mpaka saa 7 usiku, lunch ya usiku, because they are seated idle all the time. So they found themselves keep eating, and most of the food, they are added additives that gives you addiction. So the more you eat, the more the insulin is coming out. The more the insulin is coming out, the more you become resistant. The more you become resistant to insulin, you gain weight.
That's it. Controversial. And I've run into, and I blame Dr. Google, and nowadays there's this information all over that majority of people rely on just to know exactly how they go about their day. Here's the thing. I grew up knowing that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Once you have breakfast, hit heavy, so that as you go by your day, then your portions and the frequency of eating would essentially be lesser and lesser as you go by. I ran into this information that, in fact, we've been getting it wrong. Maybe you can correct it or affirm to it. That only eat when your body calls for it, that your body has ways to compensate and look for that energy. So it is useless to wake up in the morning, you're feeling okay, you're not feeling hungry, but just because it's in the morning, you eat, all right? Just because it's lunch hour, you're not hungry, you're gonna eat. Because it's dinner time, you're gonna have dinner. Supper is here, you're gonna have supper. So majority of people are eating just because they've been told there's breakfast, there's lunch, there's dinner, there's supper. Is it true that in weight management then, for you to say, well, I wanna remain at my current weight, only eat when your body calls for it? Is that true?
I can say yes and no.
Yes.
Because it depends on the kind of work you're doing, the nature of work.
Does it?
Because like somebody who is going to work out, to hit the gym, definitely they need energy. So they need energy in form of calories. So they have to put more calories because they want to build the body. If you're an athlete, you need more food to build more blood in your system, because the blood is the fuel when they are running. So it depends with the nature of work you are doing. That is why we say calories in, calories out.
That's it.
So if you don't do demanding work, it needs a lot of energy. Like most of the time as a doctor, I'm seated. So when I'm seated, the more I take more food, I will gain weight definitely, because I'm not burning calories. So it depends with the nature of work. You cannot tell somebody who is going from Jengo not to eat in the morning, or not to take lunch, and not to take dinner. It is, when are you supposed to take these meals? Like in the evening, even if you are working, you are doing a lot of work that calls for energy, you, in the evening, eat as early as possible, even if you are doing such kind of work. But those people are seated in the office, and then you are taking 5 meals in a day, and the body is not calling for that energy. Definitely you will be sick and you will gain weight.
People tell you this, that those who do demanding office work, they need a lot of mental participation throughout the entire day, where you find that somebody sits somewhere, yes, on a computer, but they're going through a lot of Excel sheets that essentially demand a lot of concentration and energy from any other person who's working like that. They will tell you the response from my body is that I'm getting hungry. All right? So the break, that particular break would essentially be a food break. Is that also detrimental to somebody who wants to just watch their weight?
You see, when you're doing work using your mind, what we say, what type of food are you eating?
Okay.
You see, you can take food, yes, but what type of food are you taking? Are you taking food that has a lot of calories? When you are doing food that has a lot of calories, definitely you'll gain weight. It will affect your health. You see, here we want something that will maintain, even if it is portion you are taking, it's a nice portion you are taking, what combination of food, what type of food are you taking? Because if we do, like example, we do junks. When you do junks, the body will convert that food to a lot of cholesterol and a lot of fat. So at the end of the day, you will gain more weight. You will not get ideal weight. So if you are working in the office, what are you using? Are you using type of food that is giving you addiction? That after every 2 hours you want to snack? After every 2 hours you want to snack? We have food that can maintain energy levels in your system naturally without giving you addiction. Like we have things like smoothies, natural smoothies with no additives. We have things like juices, natural juices with no additives. You can blend them naturally. You see, like coffee and sugar, they give you addiction. Tea leaves, they give you addiction because of nicotine and caffeine. So they give you what we call false energy because they stimulate your brain. Caffeine and nicotine, they just stimulate you. So they give you what we call false energy. So the content of tea kianza kwenda chini in your system, you feel you need more tea. So you keep taking several cups because of addiction. And anything that gives you addiction is not good for your body. Especially, I talk more of cooked food. Cooked food is more addictive. Cooked food is more addictive. So processed foods are more addictive. Why? Because of the content inside that food. What have they prepared it with? Some, like yesterday I was saying, some foods even you cannot read the ingredients. And you just take them and put them in your system. So when you put them in your system, what kind of information that the body defensive mechanism will take? If they take false information, the body will work against you. And you'll start feeling there's something going on. There's something wrong with me. I'm gaining weight. I'm fatigued. I have headache. I have joint pains, you know. Because the more you gain weight, we say the wider the waist, the higher the risk of high blood pressure and diabetes.
No, sir.
So even when you are complaining about your weight, I'm wondering, because when you gain a lot of weight, it's also another problem.
Is that? But I want to take you back a little bit, and there's a question that you're going to find in majority of conversations around weight watch and weight management. That currently as it is, and maybe it's a misconception, that eating healthy is getting more and more expensive. Case in point, I was having a conversation this morning with a gentleman who told me that one onion now goes for 15 shillings. If I wanted to have an onion in my meal this evening, I might opt to go to a supermarket and get the processed onions because now they are cheaper than what we're getting in the market. Things like tomatoes, fruits, and fresh produce is getting more and more expensive than the alternatives that are available. Today, if I walked into a fast food restaurant, I might have a meal for 150 shillings. I might have a meal for 100 shillings. I might have a meal for 60 shillings, 80 shillings, as opposed to a complete healthy meal that nutritionists advising me then to use as an alternative. Is it true that currently as it is, eating healthy is expensive, therefore maintaining your weight or watching your weight is also becoming an expense? That's why majority of people nowadays are either obese or struggling with their weight.
If you are obese, I don't understand when you are obese and you cannot afford food, you cannot afford meals. I don't understand that.
Because the obese foods are cheaper.
I say, if eating healthy is expensive, try diseases, they are cheap.
Okay.
Yeah, try cancer.
Okay.
You see whether it's cheap.
All right.
Try dialysis if it's cheap. If eating healthy is expensive, try diseases. Just see somebody who is being opened the heart because of diet, you know? You get surgery because of diet. If eating healthy is expensive, try diseases, my friend. You go to the hospital, after 1 month, you are told 2 million. Those 2 million, ungekula siku ngapi? When you're eating healthy. What do we talk? When we say eating healthy, there is a misconception outside there.
Yeah.
Eating healthy is so cheap. I'll give you an example. Like last week, I bought a cabbage, red cabbage, that's a purple cabbage, and a white cabbage, just the medium size. I bought it on Wednesday. We made salads and smoothies on Thursday. We finished those, we are two of us. Yeah. So we finished the cabbage, the red cabbage and the white cabbage. In fact, even I think I have a small piece of red cabbage. We have not yet finished. And I've been taking salad every day, a nice plate of salad. So the problem with us, we want to buy expensive things thinking that we are eating healthy. Like now, when you take dried onion, the medicinal compound of that dried onion, the potency has gone down because of the process. It is processed. But when you eat a raw onion, the chemical compound in it, it will help your body. That is the information that the body needs because it is live food. And we always fight to live healthy. We always fight for our life, to prolong our life. So how can you use the dead food to prolong your life? It's not possible. When you do more dead food, when I'm talking dead food, I talk more of cooked food. When you eat more of cooked food, you're eating dead food. Dead food means it's robbed of nutrients because of overcooking. Cooked food and processed food, they're in the same category most of the time. Because most of the things we overcook them. When you overcook them, they die. Those things we have in our markets, they are being processed. And when they are processed, they are killed of nutrients in them. So what do? You satisfy your taste buds. You stimulate your taste buds. But when they get to your cells, because the stomach doesn't eat food, you chew your food, goes to the stomach, they mix with the digestive fluids, from there to the small intestine. From small intestines, the small intestines, their veal is there. They squeeze the juice from that food into your blood, from your blood into your cells, from your cells to the body defensive mechanism, which is immune system, angiogenesis, stem cells, DNA, and microbiome. That is the gut. So those are body defensive mechanisms. And when they are imbalanced, you will gain weight. Why? Because they will convert the food that you are eating into fat because it is processed food, it is junk food, it is bottled food because processed food, they add sugar and they hide the sugar in other names. Fructose, lactose, glucose, that is added sugar. Any food that has added sugar will make you to gain weight. Deep fried foods, and if that is your lifestyle, you know, sometimes you can take them once in a blue moon. Tunasema we piga sherehe sometimes.
Once in a while.
But once in a while. But if that is kind of your lifestyle, you will gain weight and you will be diseased. When I'm talking about weight, even those people with high blood pressure and diabetes, they fall in the same category. Or heart problem. Because the kind of food we eat that makes us to gain weight, the same food that makes us to have these diseases, because they are all caused by insulin. So the more you take added sugar in our food, they are in our cereals, breakfast cereals, they are hidden there with other names. So the more you take them, The more you take deep fried food because of a lot of oil, the more you take processed food, which are robbed of food. Me, I call them food-like. Most of the food that we take, and most of the household, that's the kind of food they take, they are food-like. They are not real food. And because they are not real food, they are robbed of nutrients, they are put additives, because vitamins and minerals, they rot. Yes. If it doesn't rot, it's not food. So vitamins and minerals, they rot. So they rob them the vitamins and minerals. They fortify like flour. Yeah. They fortify. They put them synthetic vitamins and minerals. So sometimes the body will not recognize. You will eat and come out. And if it doesn't come out, it will build fat in your body. So you get excess weight. What is killing people today, it is processed food. And most of the time, we say simple carbohydrates. Or yes, simple carbohydrates, because you have complex carbohydrates. So the more you do carbohydrates, and they are refined carbohydrates, they give you addiction. For example, you can go somewhere in the village or where we live, and then you find people queuing for mandazi. They are queuing somewhere for that particular mandazi. And there's someone else cooking mandazi there, and they are not queuing there. So there is something that it is in that mandazi which is giving you addiction. You cannot pass there. You have to buy. You have to buy. And that thing that is put in that mandazi, that is what will cause diseases in your body. Because it is giving you addiction. Then the processed flour, it is empty calories. You see, your body works like this. When you eat, it's like when you have money. When you are doing business, customers, they come in, they bring you money, either in form of M-Pesa or in form of cash. So if you have a flow of money, you won't keep it with you. So maybe if it is cash, you'll put it in your M-Pesa, from your M-Pesa to the bank, or from cash to the bank. So if your work is to take money, put it in the bank, to take money, put it in the bank, you'll have bulk money, because you are not withdrawing. So the same thing with our body. When we eat food, and we don't give time the body to burn that food, it's from January 1 to December 31st, I have said, we keep eating. What is the work of the body? You eat, it is stores. You eat, it is stores. So there is no time to burn calories. If you are hitting gym, you go to the gym, you hit 500 calories. Then from the gym, there is restaurant next. Yeah. Because you have stimulate your metabolism. Yeah, yeah. So after gym, immediately you are hungry. So you take in 1,000 calories or 1,500 calories. So what are you doing? So you go gym for 6 months, you lose 2 kgs. Why? Because you eat, you burn less, you put more. So that is how the body works. You need to eat, give body time to burn calories. That is why intermittent fasting comes in. That is where fasting comes in.
Which is actually what I want to talk to you about next, isn't it? So people say that the gym is essentially not even going to help you lose weight. You can go to the gym and still keep on adding your weight and have weight problems. That it comes with essentially how you diet. Well, which introduces other areas there, intermittent fasting as well. Let's talk about them. Who is this who's going to go to the gym and not lose weight? What are they doing wrong? And your advice for people not go to the gym and just take care of their nutrition, what would you advise?
I always say, when the diet is wrong, medicine is of no use. When the diet is right, medicine is of no need. Yeah. Because even gym is part of medicine in our body, because it is helping us to enhance our circulation and also to help us to burn calories. So when your diet is wrong, even if you go to gym every day, you'll never achieve your goal. And that's why people, maybe when we are starting the year, they are excited and
hit the go to the gym,
You see?
Yeah.
But you can lose weight even without going to the gym. Because we have seen it's what we put, we give time for the body to burn, then you put something else. As you have said, you wake up in the morning, you are not hungry, and you are going to the office, and you want to put because it's a custom. That one will affect your body. So you need to give your body time, maybe around between 9 and 10, you take your breakfast. The problem is the combination of breakfast. What type of food are you taking in the morning? Then dinner. Like I said, those people who works in the office, you are strictly supposed to eat 2 meals in a day.
Strictly.
Strictly 2 meals in a day.
No more.
That is
Yeah.
cooked meal. I don't know when you are getting it.
Can I tell you, can I give you an example of a proper office scenario, Dr. John? It's simple. Come to the office, get yourself some coffee or some chocolate for what you would like. Have some
Samosa.
samosa, mandazi,
Sausage.
bread, sausage if you can. For those guys who can get chapati, fine, you know. And then after that, because there's lunch is here as well, somebody's gonna go for lunch, right? And have that lunch. And then later now when you go home,
Lunch, rice and meat.
that's it. And then later when you go home now, that's when you're gonna grab yourself some ugali. I've got workmates who tell me I can't take three days or 2 days without taking ugali. So it has to be after we leave here and then go back home. That's when they have that ugali. And you're saying that somebody who's in the office today, it's only 2 meals a day.
And especially those people who are over 40 years.
Uh-huh.
The more we age, the lesser cooked food we need to take.
Okay.
Because we want to prolong life. So the more you take more food, and especially cooked food, the more you shorten your life. So today we are saying over that 5 years, because the diet is very poor today.
Yeah.
So this is what I see. When you have an onion or a ginger or a turmeric or a garlic in your kitchen rack, when you give it some weeks, it will start sprouting, it will start growing again. Why? Because it has life. What is that life in that onion or ginger or turmeric? It is vitamins and minerals that is making that onion to grow. But when you take such kind of onion and you boil it, after 2 days or 3 days, it will start decomposing because you have robbed life in that onion.
Yeah.
So the chemistry of the body or the body defensive mechanism, they depend on that thing that makes the beans to sprout, the green beans to sprout, the life in that cabbage before you have cooked it. When we say food is medicine, we check the chemical compound of food in it. So when we check the chemical compound of food in it, how does it affect your body defensive mechanism? Because this is what will give you information that either you'll have ideal weight or you'll have excess weight because of the food, the kind of food you are taking. So these people who are in the office, I advocate them to do 2 cooked meals in a day, but you can do smoothie, you can do salads. Sometimes they'll come here and show them how to do it. You can do juices, that is natural juices. You make, the more you eat raw food, even your skin will glow naturally. You don't need makeups. Because most of the time we mask the problem. And the problem is inside the system. We say skin disease is not a disease. It is a symptom showing that the blood is toxinated from the liver, the kidney, the blood. It is clogged up. Now the body is trying to remove toxins through the skin. Then your skin is affected. So whatever you eat every day, when you eat excess of carbohydrates, sometimes I say carbohydrates is dangerous than meat. Carbohydrates is what making people to gain weight and not to have ideal weight. When you do more of carbohydrates, when you take meat in the right portion, the right time, in the right combination, you will have perfect health. Then that person who is eating carbohydrates from morning to evening, and that is the lifestyle of most of us as Africans. That's our diet. We wake up in the morning, as we have said, the kind of meal we eat. So from morning to evening, you are doing carbohydrates.
Carbohydrates, yeah.
So you add protein, maybe when you are eating meat or you are taking beans. So during the day, maybe you have taken more than 1,000 calories in a day, 1,500 calories, and you are seated. You are not burning the calories. So the body will look for the place to put these calories. So you find yourself gaining weight. So number one, if you want to have ideal weight, reduce carbohydrates. Completely reduce carbohydrates. Or even sometimes you do away with the, especially simple carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates are in mandazi, sausages, not sausages, mandazi. We have what we call kebabs, samosas, white chapatis. We have spaghetti. We have pasta. You see? If you can eat these complex carbohydrates, small portion with a lot of vegetables, not cooked, raw vegetables, red cabbage, white cabbage, carrot, cucumber. We have what we call tomatoes, onions, 100% raw. You just make salad, and I always talk about color. I've tried to teach people about color. Don't eat one color. In our families, we are eating brown and white. Brown in beans and legumes and meat, and white in ugali, chapati, rice. That is the lifestyle.
Pasta.
And that is what is killing millions of people. That is why we are diseased. That is why we are gaining weight. So you need the red color, you need the yellow color, you need the green color, you need the dark blue color, we need the purple color. What about the colors? They affect this body defensive mechanism differently. Like the angiogenesis, it depends with your blood, the blood vessels and the heart. The circulation, the circulatory system. What color do they need? Red color. Why? Because of lycopene.
Let's talk about this last issue that you're gonna face, especially when we're talking to people about watching their weight, maintaining their weight, and nutrition. You'll be told, and indeed some people know the importance of approaching you, Dr. John Rose, and then say, well, give me a meal plan that I can stick to. It is the discipline of sticking to that particular meal plan. Let's talk to them this morning. How hard is it to stick to a meal plan? What are the spirits that I have to endure this pain of moving away from what I'm used to now my body accepting that, oh, this is the new normal and this is what we like. I normally joke with my friends. I tell them, you know, guys, I can't eat more than twice a day. It's impossible. I tried that during the December holidays. I got sick completely to the point that I almost sought hospitalization because my body was like, oof, we can do this. Up to what point is someone going to enjoy this pain when you're sticking to a meal plan that they're going to get from you in the process of trying to maintain your weight?
Okay, when you come to us, the first thing, remember you have been eating this kind of food. So this kind of food has given you addiction. So how are we going to remove addiction in your system? That is where detoxification comes in. So detoxification means this. Some people, they take it very wrongly. Detoxification means this. You stop eating what has been causing your weight, and because they are in your system, they are giving you addiction, we remove them from your cellular level, then you start eating healthy. That is what we call detoxification. So when they come to us, we give them plant-based medicine or 100% natural medicine that will cleanse the liver. We talked about the liver. When the liver is congested, you will gain weight. So we open up the liver, we cleanse it, we open up the kidneys, we open up the lymphatic system, that is the sewerage system of your body. Then now we tell you, according to the nature of work you are doing, how many meals are you supposed to eat per day? As I have said, I advocate 2 meals in a day. And it's not difficult.
Is it?
It is not. For example, I'll give you an example of one meal.
Is it?
Githeri, maize and beans,
then
with salad. There you have carbohydrates, you have protein, you have vitamins. Then we put healthy fats. You put avocado. It's not expensive. Raw cabbage, raw carrot. We have the color now. We have carrot, beta carotene, because of the yellow, the orange coloring matter. We have the cabbage. Maybe you have purple cabbage. Other cyacins, that is the chemical compound that making the purple color. Then maybe you have red color in tomatoes. That is lycopene, as you have said. So you have, let's say, just those 3. Then maybe you want to put a green color. Maybe you can put a cucumber. So you have made your githeri, you have pan-fried your githeri. Then you have the vegetables here. You eat enough. Sometimes I say, if you know you're not going to overwork, you're not going to burn a lot of calories, or you're not going to use a lot of energy, try to eat to 80%. Don't eat 100%. Just do 80%. So that is an example. Dinner, make another type of salad. Then you have the black beans, we have lentils, we have what we call, we have these grains, you know? We have them. Boil them, pan-fry them, then mix with this raw. Do you know the problem with salad? People, they are just like your girls here, they are like cabbage raw, you know? You know? There is what we call salad dressing.
That's it.
So salad dressing is very simple. You can take lemon, You sprinkle some Himalayan pink salt and you sprinkle some olive oil.
Yeah.
If you don't have olive oil, you can use avocado as an alternative. So that is an example of a healthy diet in a day. In between the day, you can drink juice in the morning. That is, maybe you have different types of smoothies you have made in the morning, or juice you can take a cup. Maybe between 9 and 10, you have your breakfast. In the evening, you have your breakfast between 5 and 6. If it is late, it's between 6 and 7. Not beyond that. Not beyond. If it is beyond that, either do smoothie, either do plain salad, either do juice until tomorrow morning. Because you are giving now your time, the body time to burn the calories. Then, when your insulin keeps going higher and higher, and it's not, when you eat food, insulin goes high. When now there's no food in the system, insulin goes low. Then it normalizes. Then when you eat something else, it goes high. And because of people eating every time, every minute, every hour, the insulin gets high every time. So when your insulin is high, you will gain weight. And that is when you are diabetic, the first thing the doctor tells you, lose weight.
Lose weight, isn't it?
Because you have excess insulin. So also insulin is a factor when you are gaining weight. When you don't have ideal weight, insulin is a factor.
You know what, Dr. John Ross, we're going to call you back again so we can table these discussions and actually get to show the audience on exactly then how you can move your day and your week from Monday to Monday. Essentially, for those people saying it's very, very difficult for me to, maintain and watch my weight. Here's the thing, how can they get you if they want to talk to you?
Okay, I can give them my Facebook page, Adam's Natural Health Center, my TikTok, Dr. Rose John, or my YouTube channel. Then my cell phone number is 0723-390-411, Dr. Rose John.
That's it. Yeah. Guess what? We'll call her back again so we can talk about those juices and the meals and the colors in your plate so we can actually make them for you so you can get to see them real life. Oof, it's been a session. Guess what? Let me go take a tiny breather. Not gonna eat. I'll see you tomorrow again. Goodbye and good morning from whatever it is that you're watching us from.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through